You all know Red Bull, all these high energy drinks, blah, blah, you know. This is another one, again, from China. And again, I guess it's supposed to make you feel happy, excited. You see why it's 99 cents. This is gay fuel.
These days, you go to any store and you have a million different options for an energy drink. Celsius, Bang, C4, Ghost. But just a few decades ago, the market for energy drinks was a lot smaller. Although it was already popular in its native Austria, Red Bull only came to the US in 1996. And before then, Americans largely had no idea that such a thing existed. Shortly after, you'd get other brands popping up like Rockstar and Monster. Around the same time that Red Bull came to the US, you'd also get Bawls Energy Drink.
Balls?
And while Red Bull's marketing was turning it into the Kleenex of energy drinks, Bawls found that they could comfortably grow their brand with a different strategy. They started targeting gamers. Their push was based around the idea that gamers need more energy to play more games. Suddenly you'd see Bawls cross-promoting with all kinds of gaming companies. It was sold at CompUSA, they sponsored events like PAX, and this push towards gamers wound up being a huge success. Well, you know what other demographic famously craves stimulants? The gays. With the slogan, "Get Fired Up," Gay Fuel was unveiled in May of 2004. Released by Specialty Spirits in Florida, it was designed to be best enjoyed as part of a cocktail. Now, with a name like Gay Fuel, it was destined to get a lot of attention right away. And of course, especially with this being 2004, a lot of people thought this was just a joke. But it really was an energy drink specifically marketed towards the gay community.
The gay community.
Well, what could possibly make a drink gay? In one instance, a radio host, Mike Picozzi, who thought this was some kind of prank, called the number that was on the website. He would reach Gay Fuel's COO David Seiner, and David would explain to him this actually was a real energy drink designed for the gay community.
Yes.
Hello, who's this?
Who's this?
Well, this is Picozzi and Rhino and Rube. We're calling from WCCC in Hartford.
I saw that on the caller ID.
Oh, okay. Is this the number for Gay Fuel?
It is.
Oh, okay. Well, we actually saw your product in FHM.
Mm-hmm.
And we were curious if it was real or not.
No,
Actually,
it is a real product.
It's a real product.
You can go to www.gayfuel.com and you can order some online.
Really?
Really, dude?
What makes it gay fuel?
What makes it gay? Well, kind of our commitment to the community. We made a drink for them so that we were able to sell. The more we sell, the more we're able to give back. We give 5% of our net profits back to AIDS-related charities.
Oh, that's
okay.
nice. Oh, very nice.
And we spent a year and a half designing a formula that kind of didn't have that bite in the back of your throat like most carbonated drinks. And we designed a drink that has less sugar than any other energy drink on the market except for sugar-free. And we pasteurized it so that we were able to keep as much natural juice in it as we could.
The way he describes it, maintaining as much of the real juice flavor as possible, it sounds like it might have actually been pretty good. When the drink was unveiled, the designer of the can, Andy Towell, wrote, "Its ingredients include red currant juice, B vitamins, and a secret blend of sexual stimulant herbs. The can is an opalescent silver, and the drink itself is a bright pink. Yep, it's undeniably gay." Although people tend to view this type of marketing these days as a bit of a cynical marketing ploy, considering that David's YouTube channel is mostly Doris Day content, and Andy runs a gay news site called Tal Road to this very day, it's clear these guys were genuinely about what they were promoting. Of course, few people who know about Gay Fuel actually drank it. Its legacy, for most people, would largely be its status as one of the original fads on You'reTheManNowDog.com. It first makes its way onto the website in June of 2004 when it's posted by, you're not gonna believe this, Peter Coffin. He posted a picture of Gay Fuel with a South Park clip over it, and the caption, "They don't approve."
Christians and Republicans and Nazis, oh my!
That YTMND didn't get a ton of attention, but it was seen by another user named Ink Drinker. A year later, Ink Drinker would bring us the Gay Fuel that we all know, with the song Tarzan Boy by Baltimora. And from that point, Gay Fuel would enter the pantheon of classic YTMND fads. And the song Tarzan Boy would become basically the official theme on YTMND of anything gay, which made Jungle Boy Jack Perry's old AEW entrances so much better for anyone who was very online in the mid-2000s. It's been a while since I covered YTMND on this channel, and I've been in the mood to talk about it some more. So for today's video, let's take a look at some old favorites from that website that I just haven't covered on the channel yet. This video is sponsored by Lilo. Valentine's Day is coming up, and whether you're on your own this year or you've got someone to spend the holiday with, Lilo's got something for you. Lilo has had a reputation for having some of the highest quality pleasure products around. I remember the last time I spoke about them on the channel, I had a bunch of friends hit me up telling me how much they like their stuff. And now, if physical distance is keeping you away from your partner this Valentine's Day, you can use the Love Bridge on the Lilo app to bring them closer. Just set up a discreet private chat room and take control of each other's devices in real time. One such device being Lilo's F1S V3. With 8 powerful pleasure settings, a prolonged battery life, sensonic technology that gives the sensations of sonic waves, and cruise control technology that assures no drops in intensity. Skip the cliches this Valentine's Day and get right to business with Lilo. Click the link below to unlock deals up to 50% off, and use code WANG15 to get an additional 15% off your purchase. Make this V-Day one you'll never forget. In 2012, a radio show in Virginia called the Z Morning Zoo did a series of prank calls live on the air. You've probably heard them before. It starts when the host calls a woman pretending to be a telemarketer. He's advertising a show called WWE Super Slam. Because, that's how wrestling companies promote themselves, just calling up random people like they're running for office. He's talking about the very real event WWE Super Slam as John Cena's theme plays in the background. The woman declines the offer. When he calls back, and he's promoting the show again, she says that she already said no, and now she's starting to get a little annoyed. But he keeps calling back, pretending to be different telemarketers.
Hello?
Hi, can I speak to Champ?
Who?
Champ? Is Champ there?
Who is Champ?
That question will be answered this Sunday night!
Listen,
And each time he does it, she's getting madder and madder. Then finally, she picks up the phone one more time and she's like, I swear to God if this is the wrestling people again. But instead, she gets a very soft-spoken woman asking if she supports the Marines.
I swear to Jesus, if this is those wrestling again.
Okay, good morning. Hi, I'm just calling this morning to ask if you're a supporter of the United States military.
Oh my God, I apologize. We've been getting calls all morning. I apologize. And yes.
Fantastic.
Yes, I am.
Great. Are you a supporter of the Marine Corps?
Yes, absolutely.
Good.
Absolutely.
Great, because a former decorated member of the United States Marine Corps needs your support.
And his name is John Cena! He's gonna get in the ring and put boots to asses this
Are
weekend!
you kidding me right now?
WWE!
Are you kidding me right now? I can't even handle this. I cannot handle this.
Whenever I listen to this call, I picture how the villagers in Animal Crossing, when you piss them off, they walk around. They just like shake their head at the sky. It's an amazing series of prank calls, and these would go viral constantly over the next couple of years. But the calls don't reach their full power until 2015, and that's when they evolve into the unexpected John Cena meme. All of a sudden, John Cena's interrupting everything.
Do me a favor. I want you to tell all your friends about me.
What are you?
I'm
John Cena!
I don't know what it was about this meme in particular, but I remember it being so much more mainstream than any other meme I'd seen at that point. It got so popular that Cena himself even remarked that he was honored to be accepted as a part of pop culture in this way. And yet, this format was nothing incredibly new. It's not too dissimilar from the RKO out of nowhere meme, or the French Prince of Bel-Air meme that I spoke about in the Perfection Girl video. In fact, before John Cena, before Randy Orton, this type of meme, or should I say fad, belonged to one Muhammad Hassan 10 years earlier on YTMND. In 2005, Muhammad Hassan, portrayed by an Italian-American wrestler named Mark Copani, was flying to the top of the card in WWE, playing the role of an Arab-American who was pissed about the treatment Arabs had faced in 2000s America. He was on the fast track to becoming a main event heel. A lot of times he would piss off the crowd by interrupting their favorites to talk about his grievances. And when they were talking, they were cut off by his iconic entrance music, which I'm literally just finding out is actually called Arab American. I don't know if WWE is going to claim it if I play the song or not. I know they like to do that, but it's the one that goes, you know, if you know the song, you know it. So Muhammad Hassan keeps pissing off WWE fans by interrupting SmackDown. A YTMND user named Kane Robot asks, what if he interrupted the OJ verdict?
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Orenthal James Simpson.
And with that, Hassan starts interrupting everyone on YTMND. He's in Earthbound. He's also in Batman.
Today's secret word is...
The Hassan character, of course, comes to an abrupt end in July of 2005. That was when a gang of masked Arabs beat and strangled The Undertaker at the behest of Hassan and his manager Daivari. SmackDown at this point was pre-recorded, and when it was set to air, it just so happened that there was an actual real-life terrorist attack. WWE airs the segment anyway, and it gets a ton of mainstream attention with people outraged over how offensive they felt this was. WWE at this point in time has already fallen from the heights of the Attitude Era. They don't want to deal with this. And thus, that's the end of Hassan. A few months ago, he would actually go really in-depth about his time in WWE on Maven's channel, which honestly might be the best YouTube channel by a retired wrestler. What's extra frustrating about this whole story, he notes that he was warning them, especially because they were on network TV, that they were pushing this character in an edgier direction, and he was warning them that something like this is going to happen.
So this was filmed on a Tuesday. The London bombing happened, I believe, on a Thursday morning. SmackDown was set to go on air Thursday evening. They made the decision to air it in its entirety with this match, with Shawn acting like the Muslim martyr being carried out of the ring, with a crawler at the bottom in England just kind of talking about, you know, this might be sensitive to some viewers. When this happened on SmackDown, it reached, like, it was in the local newspaper in Syracuse. It was in Time magazine. It was everywhere. And it's insensitive, and it's frustrating that we went that way. But we went that way to try to get more heat, but we had plenty of heat.
You had heat.
Right, we didn't need to. I promise you, I was very vocal against it at the time. But you know the business.
What are you going to say?
They literally were like, we
don't give a shit, go do it.
Yeah, I got heat because I was like, this is not where the character needs to be.
They don't give a shit.
Why are we doing this right now?
But they didn't listen to him, and he's the one that ultimately paid the price for it. And it's a shame, because he was such a talented guy. Like, I have no doubt in my mind that if things played out differently, that we'd be thinking about this guy like a Hall of Famer. Despite all that, though, he seems like he's completely at peace with how things worked out in the end. He would go on to leave wrestling altogether, becoming a history teacher and eventually a school principal and administrator. He would also co-author a comic book entitled Assassin and Son with his now deceased WWE colleague Shad Gaspard. Muhammad Hassan is often cited as one of the biggest what-ifs in wrestling history, and I agree, but he's rarely given the credit he deserves for his role in internet history. Alright, so how about the Ding Dong song by Gunther and the Sunshine Girls? You might not remember the title, but you'll remember it if I go, ooh, you touch my tra-la-la.
My ding ding dong.
This song was part of one of the biggest YTMND fads of 2004 and 2005. Inspired by the 1984 song Tra-La-La by the Dutch band Phil and Company, the song took off pretty quickly, in part just due to it being a catchy Europop song with a vaguely sexual hook, but also because of the striking image of its singer Gunther, with his short mullet, sleazy sunglasses, and John Waters mustache. It was a very distinct look. I mean, sure, now you could probably find like 50 guys who moved to Bushwick and look exactly like that, but back in 2004 it was something you did as a joke. Past the mere image of Gunther though, the song itself becomes a YTMND fad based around people having their tra-la-las touched. Your tra-la-la, of course, being... And of course, you can have a YTMND fad about forced touching without Brian Peppers. This fad would eventually break YTMND containment, make its way onto aggregation sites like YTMND's best friends at E-Bomb's World, and eventually make its way to YouTube. Fans that are introduced to him these days tend to say he looks like Dr. Disrespect, but back then his appearance was so novel that people were making their own parody videos. Dressing up like him with fake mustaches, growing out real mustaches, even recruited their own Sunshine Girls. Gunther himself was well aware of the videos and had a section on his website, GuntherNet, where he would showcase all the fans impersonating him. And unlike a lot of meme songs to that point, Gunther was actually charting and building a fan base that was looking deeper into his catalog. And although a lot of people who have a hit meme song run into the ground and then they disappear forever, Gunther has actually managed to hold on to a sizable fan base throughout the years. Like, I literally cannot think of any other musician who's had this successful of a 20-year career that was basically kicked off from a viral hit. Alright, let's talk about one more. Let's do Tendercrisp Bacon Cheddar Ranch. So, Burger King has always been known for insane ad campaigns. Obviously, you think of the King, with his plastic, unmoving face, that he gets thought of in the same category as slasher villains. Like, you have to wonder if it was a deliberate choice for them to make these Elden Ring enemies that look like the Burger King. But Burger King's surreal marketing sensibilities at that time didn't end with the King. In 2004, Burger King introduced Tendercrisp Chicken, which had a number of insane ad campaigns attached to it. One of them was honestly kind of groundbreaking, the Subservient Chicken. So you would go to this website, subservientchicken.com, and you got what appeared to be a live feed of a giant chicken man standing around in a living room. And the idea is you type in your request and the chicken man does it. Obviously though, there's no actual chicken man on a live feed. If they did this campaign now, there probably would be, but back then it just wasn't happening. It actually worked kind of like an old school text-based adventure game. You type in the commands and if there was something recorded, the chicken man would do it. and they had over 300 different actions recorded. And I know that Burger King these days, they tend to find themselves at the bottom of fast food tier lists, but I remember the Tendercrisp chicken actually being pretty good. Financially, it was a huge success for Burger King, so they would wind up expanding the Tendercrisp offerings. Probably most famously was the next year in 2005. That was when Burger King introduced the Tendercrisp Bacon Cheddar Ranch Sandwich. They did this really trippy commercial featuring not Hootie, but Darius Rucker of Hootie and the Blowfish. He's in a colorful world that kind of looks like the Wizard of Oz, and you got a yellow brick road paved with cheddar cheese, rivers of ranch dressing flowing on a mountain, and sandwiches growing on trees. And while we're watching this all go down, Darius sings a country music song about the sandwich. It's actually a parody of the song Big Rock Candy Mountain. And despite this being a goofy song for a goofy commercial, it's also a bit of an earworm. It's the kind of thing that you're sitting around at work and you're just like thinking to yourself, you're just like, Tendercrisp, Bacon Cheddar Ranch, and someone hears you and then it's stuck in their head. And like a lot of these silly pop culture moments, this one immediately made its way onto YTMND.
When my belly starts a-rumbling and I'm jonesing for a treat, I close my eyes for a big surprise, the Tendercrisp Bacon Cheddar Ranch.
While I wasn't there this particular night, I do remember a lot of late nights on YTMND, and you'd see something like this hit the up-and-coming or the recently created sites, which causes a bunch of light bulbs to go off the community and then other people start riffing on it. Usually these things didn't have any lasting power, it would just keep people entertained for a couple hours, but the Tendercrisp Bacon Cheddar Ranch is an earworm. Possibly the most popular one was by Rykar174, and it worked the ad into the Darth Vader force choke scene.
Don't be too proud of this technological terror you've constructed. The ability to destroy a planet is insignificant next to the power of the Tendercrisp Bacon Cheddar Ranch.
Don't try to frighten us with your sorcerer's ways, Lord Vader.
Then you have this one by Thor Burninator with Michael Moore dancing to the song.
There's tumbleweeds of bacon and cheddar paves the streets.
Actually, I haven't thought about this in a long time, but there are a lot of really good Michael Moore YTMNDs. I gotta do that if I make another one of these. You have this one where the chicken sandwich has replaced the plane chasing Cary Grant in North by Northwest. That one's by a user named Darth Wang, who I swear is not me. He spells it different. According to the YTMND wiki, he was making several of these Tendercrisp sites long after everyone else considered it to be a dead fad. But you know, who cares if it's dead if you make something good with it? Also, apparently that guy has the record for the most sites ever made on YTMND, and actually, now that I'm looking at his profile, he's literally active commenting on sites right now in 2025. And he made this one 2 days ago.
What's new, pussy ass?
Still making YTMNDs in 2025. You'll love to see it. As a testament to the staying power of this fad, in October of 2020, Sensei Ireland uploaded the Simpsons one.
There's tumbleweeds of bacon and cheddar paves the streets. Folks don't front you cause you got the juice. There's a train of ladies coming with a nice caboose. Never get in trouble, never need an excuse. That's the Tendercrisp Bacon Cheddar Ranch. There's a king who wants you to have it your way. That's the Tendercrisp Bacon Cheddar Ranch.
What I love about having made this video, I know that a bunch of you are going to be stuck with the song in your head now. But anyway, that's all for now. I'm probably going to do more of these in the future, so let me know what other YTMND fads you'd like to see covered. If you like this video, turn on notifications and check out my video about YTMND versus E-Bombs World. I'm out.